as water in the morning, and letting my body learn. This clean skin, soft light, this rest that shows in my eyes. This is how I hold my shoulders when I stop living rushed. I don't chase it, I make space for it. I come back to myself.
Welcome. It's your spiritual baddie, Miss Tay, and this is Raising Your Crown, a safe space for growth, elevation, and real conversation. Listen, the devil is really working on my last nerve. This video, I've tried to film at least twice, okay? And the last time I filmed it didn't even save properly. So I know this is like a sign that I really need to get this message out, because this topic was a pillar to my spiritual awakening and still is when it comes to my journey. And so I know it is going to invoke some real deep thought into y'all as well, okay? Today, we are talking about accountability, ego, projection, healing, and why so many people are running from themselves instead of the truth. And I'm talking to all you bitches, everyone, even the so-called righteous ones, the leaders, especially the spiritual leaders, because everybody wants to be healed. Everybody wants to lead the masses, if not. Everybody wants to be successful, God chosen, wealthy, spiritually aligned. But nobody wants to sit in the fire and face their own reflection in bad behavior, their demons. Everybody wants abundance. Everybody wants the glow up. Everybody wants the peace, the healthy love, the healed relationships, the financial freedom, the emotional stability, the mental stability. But very few people are willing to confront the version of themselves that keeps sabotaging it and keeps them in destructive karmic cycles. And that is the problem. Accountability scares most people, because accountability requires death. Not physical death, ego death, pride death, mask death, denial death, delusion death. The version of you that survived off of blame, projection, denial, manipulation, excuses, and victim mentality, that version cannot survive truth. Truth is a mirror people love to avoid. Truth is a mirror people love to avoid, because once you see yourself clearly, you cannot unsee it. And some people would rather drown in delusion than breathe in the truth. Some people spend years building entire personalities around avoiding accountability. Years. They become professional victims, professional gaslighters, professional blamers, and professional deflectors. Every conversation turns into, but they did this to me, but they hurt me first, but this happened to me, but you don't understand me, I'm being misunderstood. And yes, pain is real, trauma is real, betrayal is real, oppression is real, but healing requires responsibility. At some point, you have to stop asking, who hurt me? And start asking, how have I hurt myself? How have I hurt others? How have I allowed my wounds to control my life? Because unhealed pain does not stay contained. Unhealed pain does not stay contained. It leaks. It leaks into your relationships, into your friendships, into your business, into your money, into your self-worth, into your body, into your spirit. You see, when you refuse accountability, you don't escape the pain. You multiply it. Every time you deflect, every time you project, every time you suppress guilt, trauma, jealousy, insecurity, anger, you push it deeper and further into distress. You fall into spiritual and mental starvation, and you wonder why people feel numb, why they can't sleep at night, why their relationships mash up as soon as they get into it, why their spirit feels heavy, why their body feels tired and sore, why money can't stay in your bank accounts, why peace avoid them like unpaid rent. Because inaccountability poisons every aspect of your life. Mentally, it traps you in delusion. You start lying to yourself so much that you can't even recognize reality anymore. You create narratives and stories in your head to protect your ego instead of protecting your heart, your soul. Emotionally, it keeps you immature. You become reactive instead of reflective. Everything triggers the fuck out of you because you haven't mastered yourself. Spiritually, it disconnects you from truth and source and God. And no, spirituality is not an aesthetic. It's not sage. It's not crystals. It's not quoting Bible verses. Okay? We're talking about high vibration and energy and frequencies. If your spirit cannot humble itself enough to apologize, to reflect, to take accountability, then your spirit is incomplete. Your spirit is fragmented. Physically, stress starts to manifest into your body because the body carries what the mouth refuses to admit. The body keeps score. Some people are carrying years of guilt, resentment, shame, rage, and emotional constipation in their chest, and their stomach, and their hips. Financially, your habits keep reproducing struggle because you refuse to confront the root problem. You keep sabotaging opportunities. You keep burning your bridges. You're avoiding discipline, repeating cycles, and making emotional decisions, blaming everybody else instead of correcting your patterns in yourself. You can't heal what you refuse to acknowledge. And I'm tired of hearing it's the woman's fault, it's the man's fault, it's the parents' fault, it's the government's fault, it's the system's fault, it's society's fault. Listen carefully, okay? Systems exist. Oppression exists. Like I said, trauma exists. It's real. And yes, some people truly have it harder than others. But accountability means understanding that while you may not control everything that is happening around you, you are responsible to how you respond to it. Because some people use pain as a reason to evolve, and other people use pain as a lifelong excuse for stagnancy. And stagnancy is a slow death. Okay? Some people have been emotionally a toddler for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Still blaming, still avoiding, still running, still manipulating, still refusing to say, I was wrong. Do you know how much healing would happen in this world, in this lifetime, if people would simply learn how to say, I hurt you, I apologize, I handled that poorly, I need to change that about me, that was wrong. But ego makes people allergic to humility because admitting your wrongdoings forces people to confront that they are no longer the hero in their own story. Sometimes you are the problem. You are the drama. You are the liar. Sometimes you are the manipulator. Sometimes you are the one that abandoned people. Sometimes you are the one that projected on your insecurities onto innocent people. Sometimes you cause the damage because you were unhealed. You were damaged. And instead of healing it, you normalized it. Then wonder why your life keeps collapsing in cycles. Because every single conflict in your life carries a mirror. Even within yourself, especially within yourself. A lot of people are at war with themselves internally. And instead of sitting with themselves, they would rather distract and create noise around them. Constantly scrolling, constantly partying, hopping from bed to bed, partner to partner. Constant noise and constant seeking of validation. Anything to avoid the silence, because silence forces reflection and reflection forces accountability. Okay? The scale of fulfillment in life is measured by the heart, not by whatever religion or spirituality or title you fall under. not by how many Bible verses you can quote on social media. Your heart reveals your alignment. Your heart reveals how you treat people, how you handle correction, how you apologize, how you confront your own darkness, how you carry power when nobody's watching. That is righteousness. That is alignment and enlightenment. Not performance, not ego, not social media, spirituality. Not that fake alignment shit. Because how you're calling yourself awakened and chosen and evolved and divine, but you're still moving like a wounded toddler in an adult body. Throwing tantrums every time someone holds you accountable. Blocking growth because your pride is too loud. Hurting people and then acting confused when the consequences arrive. When they block your ass. That's not evolution. That's emotional immaturity dressed up in spiritual language. Some of y'all only want to claim responsibility for the prettier parts of your life, the success, the achievements, the blessings, the goals. Everybody's quick to post, well, I manifested this. I worked hard for this. I deserve this. But what about the damage you've caused on other people? The betrayal, the lies you told, the manipulation, the emotional neglect, the cheating, the avoiding, the stonewalling, the gaslighting, the selfishness, the lack of empathy. All of a sudden, everybody's on mute. Everybody's a fucking nun. Everybody's a saint. No reflection, no growth. Just ego dressed up in a fucking costume. And that type of cowardice is what's keeping a lot of you guys spiritually bankrupt. Your life changes the moment you stop running from yourself. Not from buying more things and fancy cars and Chanel bags. Not from another man with money or a baddie. Not from pretending to be healed. Not from posting motivational speeches. Yeah. The real transformation begins the moment you become honest with your damn self. The moment you say, yeah, I hurt people. Yeah, I've sabotaged myself. Yeah, I've made excuses before. Yeah, I've played victim before. Yeah, I need to grow and mature in that aspect. That's where real power starts. Not by pretending to be perfect. Okay, not by acting like the whole world did you wrong. But in having the courage to face your own shadow without flinching. And let me tell you something. Shadow work will never be cute. Healing will never have a soft landing. It's always going to hurt. You're always going to have those growing pains. But growth will humble you over and over again. Sometimes growth looks like crying after realizing you did something wrong to someone. Sometimes growth looks like apologizing without expecting forgiveness. Sometimes growth looks like sitting alone and confronting years of denial, discomfort. That discomfort is the doorway to freedom, because accountability liberates. It frees your mind from denial. It frees your heart from your ego. It frees your spirit from deception. And once a person becomes radically honest with themselves, their entire reality starts changing. This human experience gives you two choices. Be a conscious, mature, sovereign human being, or become a human experiment controlled by wounds, trauma, ego, trends, indoctrination, and programming. So choose. Because nobody's coming to save you. Not Buddha, not Jesus, not Allah, no money, no relationship, no status, no validation, no followers, no aesthetic. Just you. So stop moving like a toddler. Avoiding responsibility every time accountability starts knocking on your door. And to be honest, my toddler takes more accountability than I've seen a lot of you grown ass adults. She apologizes and she is very aware when she knows she's being cheeky. Stand in your truth, man. Balance your scales. Clean your heart. And watch how your entire life transforms. Instantaneously. Immediately. I'm Miss Tay. This is Raising Your Crown. And if this message triggered you or challenged you or made you feel uncomfortable, sit with that. Okay? Journal about it. Write it down. Because sometimes that discomfort is the first sign that healing is trying to enter your life. Take accountability, man. Face yourself honestly. Heal the parts of you that keeps creating destruction. And stop running from the mirror. Because the strongest people are not the ones who pretend to be perfect, okay? They're really not. The strongest people are the ones who are brave enough to confront themselves. Protect your peace, guard your spirit, and raise your motherfucking crown. Until next time, bye y'all.